Alright, so I'm at my home office where I've been editing Spacelock. I've locked myself away in my little man cave here, and I've been editing Spacelock like crazy. This movie's going to take a while because it's a very big, ambitious project. We announced it a little like over a year. We're coming up on the year and a half mark now. We told you guys. We announced it. I think it was like we announced it shortly after Carpenter was released, and very different type of movies. That was shot in 17 days. This is an ambitious project. A lot has changed in the movie, and normally it's kind of cool, like when you hit little issues or roadblocks while making a film. Normally someone will want to give up and just go, okay, this is it, this is not what I planned to do, and this is falling apart, I'm not going to do it anymore. But being set on your goal and set on your path and making those goals, what we're setting out to do is make a space horror movie. That's the ultimate goal, is that keeps you going. And there's always something new you learn along the way. So one thing I am learning right now is I've always been good at doing like basic animation, computer graphics, like 2D special effects and stuff like that. And I'm pretty good at it. I can do it pretty well. But I've been learning 3D animation lately, and that's a whole new ballpark for me. And a lot of people, there's even kids that are like 12 years old that do 3D animation. They're like even better than superb than me, but I'm pretty proud of myself that I'm learning it, to just learning the tools to help tell the story of Spacelock. And Spacelock started off as just a little secret project. I started shooting in my barn studio that I used to have before we got Fast Coast Productions studios in Hamilton. We were located just on my property in an old barn that I was fixing up to shoot as a sound stage and as an editing studio. And then we got a nice building where we're located now in downtown Hamilton. And so I started shooting this on the side just after we wrapped, just before we started Carpenter. I started working on this project on the side. And then I was like, well, I know this movie's going to take me a little while. This is a little secret project. I wonder if I can do a movie that's going to, can I make a movie pretty quick? And I've proved to myself I can do it in 2 times so far, where like Carpenter was shot in 17 days and released like literally within that time period. And then we had Scarlet that was shot in 4 days but released like 10 months later. Still, that's pretty epically fast, with no script or anything like that. And so I've proved myself, like all these little things, these little projects, that I can do this. And this movie now, after being a little secret project on the side, after I showed Will it, and Will was like interested in it, then I was like, okay, maybe this could be the next project we work on. Not even thinking about Scarlet, not even thinking about the Fast Coast Film Academy at the time, because we didn't have headquarters yet in downtown, a public headquarters yet. We were on private property in a barn, and he was all game for it, and he helped me. He wrote like I wrote the whole script like this on one of these like spiral notebooks. I just hadn't finished writing the ending yet. I think I was probably in the second act, and I was just finishing away, and then he asked and took it and completed it over a weekend and added a lot of new things, a lot of new elements. And then of course through the shooting process, it was really interesting to see how, like, when somebody writes too much dialogue, we worked on that, cut that out during filming, rewrote the script to accommodate certain things. And then how some things we ran up in problem with schedule, and with also we ran into issues with also telling a certain part of the story while we were filming, and so coming up on the spot, like changing the ending to kind of accommodate kind of the first draft, actually, the first idea I had. So it's kind of come back to the first draft, which is really cool. But just like, it's been a learning experience, and it always is. Always, like, even like some people might say, oh, you're experienced at doing these indie films now, and you've done them for a while and stuff like that. But it's always a film school. You're always learning. And it was really cool to see like people that have never been on like a film set before. That we had a lot. It was like we're split down the middle. We had people that were experienced like on real film sets, real television shows, and then there was a half that was just like theater or have never ever done anything before. I'm explaining like, not like I'm talking never ever done anything like professional before, or have never ever done anything remotely like this before. They've only stepped on stage, and they might have occasionally, been in a little friend's like short film or something like that, but never been on a feature film before. So it was really cool. So a lot of people got like a fly on the wall, or got to be a part of that experience of seeing a film like this made, and how like independently how you make a movie when you have no budget and you just have volunteers and stuff like that, and what you have to do, and how you stay focused and stay on the path. And there were a few people complaining along the way, because when you're on a journey, are we there yet? Are we there? And right now we're in that mode of, are we there yet? And a lot of people are in that mode of like, are we there yet? We're not there yet. We still got a long way to go. Been doing CGI, a lot of post-production right now. We are filming the last final parts, because this movie starts off with an ensemble cast, and it's kind of like your traditional horror movie where they get plucked off one by one, and then we're left with our protagonists at the end, like fending for themselves and trying to survive. And so we're at those final stages right now, where literally we filmed all the scenes we need. We just need to film a couple of pick-me-ups and a couple of last little shots to kind of like fill in little parts, to just kind of piece scenes together. So we've been working on that. And so now what I've been doing is also, after we film those little pieces and those little puzzle pieces for this film, I've been placing them together, doing the computer graphics, doing the green screen work. Like, once you're done filming, there's also all these other parts. You're like making it's like making two movies at once. Like a movie like this, doing a space movie that started filming in a garage, like in a barn, and then going into a studio. You're piecing these puzzles together, plus where we literally have taken out a part, like a little subplot we've taken out because it was not working, and because of certain circumstances we couldn't finish that little story or tie it off. So we had to remove that, and then we had to do little creative things, creative editing, and like reshoot a couple of little pickup shots that would help mend those parts that we had omitted from the original storyline. And so right now I am piecing that together right now, and right now we have a full feature film, and we have finished primarily like 90% of all production is done of actual practical shooting, and then there's another 10% of like pickups to do. But then right now, I probably only have maybe like 40% of the special effects added in right now. And I've been adding in like elements. There's even things that people will not notice as a special effect. Of course, the space shots where the ship is in space, of course that'll look like a special effects. Of course, like the monsters and all that kind of stuff. But there's like little things that I'm doing, little elements to add that sci-fi flavor to the film. That takes a little while. And there's a lot of green screen work, and then not just the green screen work, there's a lot of set extension stuff where we were on a set, but we have to digitally mat in the set extensions. And then there's other parts like sound effects we have to do, and sound mixing. But the movie you can watch as a really rough piece together kind of film. There's still a couple parts where you just see green screen on it, and there's a couple parts like that still in this film, and there's still parts where they're firing their laser guns but nothing's coming out, no sound effects. There's a lot of parts in the film that I have mixed sound effects together, and it looks really good. So what I'm going to be doing is, as I edit this and as we piece it together, there'll be moments where like you won't hear from us with the Spacelock for a while, and we'll be talking about our other projects, just because that will be not on the afterburner, but we'll be working behind the scenes on Spacelock as we're doing other things during the other part of the schedule. So we'll have a split schedule of working on our next project and then continuing finishing up this project. So this project will be finished, just to let you guys know. I just wanted to give you guys an update on Spacelock for that reason, just to wonder what it's like. And movies do take a lot of time, and I know there's a lot of filmmakers out there, and you understand this, they take a lot of time, and I say we can pat ourselves on the back. There's a lot of people too that were in the film that was their first time. They don't understand really the true process, or some people might think they understand, they get it, they understand, but we're not like a Hollywood film. We're a feature film production, but we're not like Hollywood. They have many of people working together to get things done, and this is a little bit different. You're in a different world and a different spectrum, but we're getting it done, and it's looking really good. So I just wanted to let you guys know Spacelock is coming along, and it's going to start to be more of a post-production part of it. And that's why I love it when I split off and I do two projects at the same time, is I always have it staggered where one is going into production, and then I'm not sitting on my butt editing like in the dark the whole time. So and I've taken my work home with me, so I can like kind of work on this like throughout the night. It's kind of nice. If I can't sleep or something, and I'm up later, I can come sit and work on Spacelock, and that's how it's been. I've been literally like every day this summer I've been working on Spacelock up to our next project that I'll be announcing in another video. And so yeah, so I just want to let you guys know just before the holiday approaches of 4th of July that Spacelock is being edited, and it's looking really good. I'm proud of it. There's some parts that I'm like still struggling with, but there are a lot of parts that are working out really well, and I think it's gonna do its job. I think it's gonna really be a fun movie and very entertaining. So those of you, I just want to thank you who've stuck with us since day one of this announcement of this film. Those of you who've been with us since way before, thank you for sticking with us. And thank you for your encouragement. I always need encouragement to keep going forward, because sometimes at the end of the day, it's just you know, at the controls flying the ship. And I feel like Spacelock, as I'm editing this, it's almost like a metaphor like that. Like, people around you sometimes drop as flies, but then there's always somebody that sticks behind and stays beside you and helps you out. And a lot of the people on this crew have been, like all of them have been that way. They've been very helpful and stuck through it and held on. There's been a little negative, but totally understandable, because, you know, it's literally like you're driving a car and you're like, okay, are we there yet? Are we there yet? I totally understand that. So anyways, I just want to thank all of you for sticking with us with the Spacelock feature film. It's coming out very soon, but right now we're in post-production, which means, for those of you who don't know, means editing or the behind the scenes, like in the edit room. We are putting all the puzzle pieces together and making them look really, really cool by doing the CGI and special effects. So my name's Christian Ackerman with Fast Coast Productions. If you want to find out more information on our film of Spacelock, go to fastcoastproductions.com, and we'll have all our info right there, even on other upcoming projects, other projects that we've worked on in the past, and other new announcements. I will be making a big new announcement on the 4th of July, maybe sooner, but maybe near around the 4th of July, I'll be releasing a video. I think it'll be just perfect for this announcement. And if you want to get notified when that happens, just hit that bell notification, hit the notification button, or stick with checking out our fastcoastproductions.com and then following all our social media. And all our social media links are at fastcoastproductions.com. Well, guys, I'm Christian Ackerman with Fast Coast Productions. I'll see you in the movies.